not ready yet. GG. Just did Capstone Dungeon early. I actually want to keep that. I can't use some of the gear that came from here, but hey, I did it. Proof. Okay, none of those matter. We did it, boys. My very first capstone. With a Thorn Barbarian build. Just gets super tanky. God, I need a nightmare opened up. It was getting to be such a fucking drag. There we go. Now I'm pretty much gonna be 5 levels behind everything, but I don't even care. It takes so long to level. That's something Blizzard definitely needs to fix for at least hardcore. But yeah. No, I showed the build a little bit earlier. Again, we go Flay for the Thorns and the damage reduction. We go Rend for the bleed. And then we also have an item or an affix that every person that's bleeding, we gain 5% damage reduction. Then Iron Skin, that's it's a heal, and with the affix that we have on our helmet, it allows us to get out of CC or on our chest. So it becomes unstoppable. Thorns, more Thorns, max health because of Thorns. Challenging Shout all the way out here for 30% more maximum, more Thorns. For the shouts, 3 points into the booming voice and into this shout, because 12% damage reduction is really good while you're shouting for 5 seconds. Only 1 point in charge. You don't really want to CC things too much because you want them hitting you. I think I am going to go a point into Pit Fighter because I'm pretty sure Thorns works off of close damage. Each time you take direct damage, we gain Fortify, which is why this bar was like filling up the entire time with a deep red. Thick Skin. This would also be pretty good if your Fortify builds up faster. I just feel like unless there's a ton of enemies hitting me at once, my Fortify is never big enough. And of course, we can counterbalance that with this right here, but I prefer healing. And we go with these guys because they build up our rage faster. They also CC and do a shitload of area damage. It just adds a lot of damage to our kit and wave clear. 1 point of this that we could get this every 100 fury spent, we healed 9% of our life. It's always good to have as much healing as possible to stay alive. Unbridled rage, just because we want this doing as much damage as possible. We don't take rupture. The reason being is that if we are removing bleeds, then we are losing damage reduction. We want to keep our damage reduction as high as possible. And that is pretty much the entire build. Just to show you the items, if I'm surrounded by enemies, I'm healing for a shitload. I'm healing for a lot. Iron Skin grants Unstoppable. So that's our shield that allows you to get out of CC. It's super powerful. Just, you know, standard deal 10% more damage, and that applies to your thorns. Up to 30% if you're standing still. Shouldn't be moving around too much. As you notice as well, I have as much thorns as I can get throughout my build. This is that 4% damage reduction for each nearby bleeding enemy, up to a maximum 20%. That's huge. And then you're never really casting Rend until you're close to max Fury, because it costs 70 Fury. So this is pretty powerful as far as affixes go. I'm sure that I can find a better one. You saw me pick this sword up. The Dust Devil is just added damage. Again, we're using Flay so much that this is always up. And then Thorns. The explosion of Thorns. On the ring, just it's just added. It's not anything that I was seeking. I was just like, hey, this is better than the ring I was wearing because it had more max life. This also, if I'm injured and I'm in crowd control, which is like the #1 killer in hardcore, it gives me unstoppable, so I can get out of the CC. And then direct damage against bleeding enemies can stun them. That's why you saw them getting stunned every now and then. I need to throw something on this. I just haven't done it yet. And we got a bunch of items here. And that is the build. The focus is, as always, at least for this build, you could run this with Lunge and Whirlwind too if you wanted to. It's just, it would be a totally different dynamic. It would actually change the build completely. What I run is I try to get as much basic skill damage in my kit as I can, because we're using Flay so often. We wanted to do as much damage as possible before we nuke things with our Rend. And then, not the most thorns I've had. The first character, my first thorns character, had more. They unfortunately died. I got a little overzealous and then started coughing into my hand and didn't heal myself. It was just bad, unfortunate. Basic attack damage very high, and then trying to get as much strength because that increases thorn damage and increases armor as well. And then max health, 353 bonus life. We want a lot of that because if you remember back in the build, our max life also gives us more thorns. So yeah, that's the build. Hope you enjoyed, and take care.